Hello everybody, and welcome to this presentation. Today we'll be learning how to use Wix.com, a site that I've recently been introduced to, in order to create your own website. This is the website that we're going to be recreating today. It's for a hypothetical business that I've started called Catherine's Soaps and More. So this is our end product goal. I've already taken the liberty of creating an account and starting a blank template. You're going to have to do that for your own website. So what we're going to do is we want to change the background. Over here on the left is your toolbar. This is going to be your home base for everything that you need to do. So to change the background, you select Design. It's going to give you several different options. You can select a plain color or different backgrounds and designs that they've put in here, or you can upload your own. I like this pink flower background as an option for a good girly health and beauty products store. So we'll go with that. So now that we have our background selected, we're going to work from the top down. Next, we're going to add a title. We want it to be named something. Now, when you click Add, there are lots of different options of things that you can put into your site. We want to add a text title. The default automatically puts the title down here in the middle of the screen. We want to drag that up and attach it to the header. All of these things that are attached to the header have yellow boxes around them and are selected to show on all pages. If you want to deselect that option, you can, but we're going to leave it for now. It gives you instructions. It says Title, double-click me. For all text editing in this site, double-clicking opens the text editor feature. So you're going to select it and type in your own title. Catherine's Soaps and More. Well, that probably won't be your title. You can type in what you need to. So you're going to select it, and just like any word editing processor, you're going to be able to change the font. This site has lots of good font options. I've really enjoyed using them. We want to make it a little bit bigger so you can see it better. But this size pushes it to 2 lines. So what we're going to do is we're going to click out and we're going to drag it until it decreases to 1 line again. So now that we've selected it, we can drag over here to where we want to place it on the site. And there you have it. Now you have a title. The next thing you want is you want to add a menu. Every good website has a navigational menu. So you go again to Add over here on the left. Select Buttons and Menus. It's going to give you lots of different options of things to add. We want to put in a button menu. It's a little bit more attractive than a text menu. So we're going to select a button menu. So you're going to drag again to attach to the header because we want this on every page as well. So you're going to open it up to cover the entire heading box. And we don't want it to be that wide. It takes up too much of the screen. So we're going to shrink it back down a little bit. Maybe to right about there. That looks good. So again, you click Change Style. This Change Style option is what's going to allow you to adjust the different settings on each of the elements you add to your site. So we're going to click Change Style, personalize this particular menu. There are lots of different menu styles you can choose. Pick the one that fits the site that you're building. I personally am really a fan of this with the separators. So we're going to select that. But it's a little boring right now. It needs to be adjusted. The drop-down menu box, or the drop-down background, is simply if you have one of the menu buttons with multiple options, that's going to be behind the text. So it can stay white for now. The text, gray is okay. That doesn't bother me. If we're going to adjust the mouse over, however, so when you hover your mouse over something, this is the color the text is going to turn. I'm going to stick with the pink theme. Now, to know which page you're on, you want your text to be a different color. Again, we could go with a lighter gray, but I think something more interesting would be this green. It's kind of like watermelon. There are different options for every element you add. Down here, you have corner sizes. So if you have true buttons, this is where you would change how much rounding on the corners was done. It's in pixels, but we don't have that, so we're not going to worry about it. So you click OK, and click OK again. So now you can see that where it says Home, the page we're on, it's already adjusted to green. As you might remember from the picture that I showed you of the end product, we need a line in here. It's a little bit boring with just the white. It needs to be divided from the rest of the body. So we're going to again go to Add, Shapes and Lines. We don't want just a line. We want it to have a little bit of width to it. So we're going to add a strip. The default is this giant gray line. That's obviously not what we want. We're going to decrease the size of it first off, like so. Now you're going to click and change style again. We want it to be pink, but not too bright of a pink. So we're going to edit this style, because we might want to use this line again somewhere in the site, so we want to make sure it remembers it. I like this one with lines. So the background, like I said, we want it to be pink, but that might be a little bit too bright of a pink. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to More Colors. This gives you the option to select different colors and adjust as needed. This is a little bit lighter. As you can see, it shows you the color you're selecting as compared to the color that you have presently. So we're going to go with that pink. That's a little bit more in line with the background. The inner and outer borders, we're just going to change to white. Make them stand out a little bit more. Because we want this strip to have a clean line. There are other adjustments you can make, such as border position and outer border width, things like that. We're going to leave them alone for now. You can change them at a later time if you'd like. So we're done with this strip, but we need to move it into the header. So again, you grab and you drop once it says Attach to Header. So there you go. You have your strip attached. We're going to bring this menu down. Okay, so we're done with the header. It's good where it is right now. But in order to add text to the body, we need to change the background so it can be seen. So you're going to click Change Style. It's the magical button in this program. So you're going to personalize this page. We want it to be a little bit darker so text is going to show up better. Right now, it's currently set at no color. So you're going to select, change the color to white or whatever you'd like, but that's a little bit too harsh. So I want to change the opacity. The opacity makes it see-through. As you can see, the lower the opacity, the more the background behind it is going to show up. So we want it to be fairly high, but not too high. We want to still see a little bit of the design. So we're going to click OK, OK, and OK. So now we have this blank canvas on which we can attach things. The first thing we're going to put in is an image. We want to show what the soaps could possibly look like. I've already taken the liberty of adding an image to the gallery. You'd have to do that, as you'll see in a second. This is the default image, so if I double click, it'll bring up the gallery so we can select a different image. So I've already put in the soaps picture, so I'm going to select that and change image. So there we have it, but it cuts off the sides a little bit. So we're going to widen it just a tad so that we can see all of the picture. I'm going to drag it over here to the position that I want it. So now that we have an image, we want to add more text. We want to have the menu of what things I'm going to sell. So instead of adding a title this time, we're going to add a paragraph. So you click Paragraph. The default automatically inserts to the center and has this text, "I'm a paragraph. Click to add your own text, blah, 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 blah." So that's what we're going to do. We're going to double click to open the text editor, delete what they have, and I've already copied and pasted the text I want. So again, we're going to change the fonts to make it look a little girly, a little bit nicer. The fonts that they automatically have selected are pretty boring. So there's a font down here called WIXscreencast. That's what we want. We're going to adjust the size. We want people to know what this is. So now we're going to adjust the body into a different font. I like this one called Overlock. And it needs to be a little bit bigger so it's more easily read. And it's a little bit too far to the left, so we're going to increase the indent. Maybe one more. Down here, we don't want that increased so much. So we're going to deselect, and we're going to decrease the indent of just that line where it says "and more." So there you have it. Now you have your products menu put in place. You can drag and adjust in order to put them exactly where you want it, but I'm not going to worry about that for now. The last thing we're going to change is the footer. So again, to select the footer, you're just going to double click. It opens the text editor. The default is copyright 2023 by name of template. You want to put your own name in there. This is going to show up on every page, so you want it to be correct. So we're going to say 2013 by Catherine. We're going to leave proudly created by Wix.com. And there you have it. I think we're done with this site, but let's look. If you click on the preview button, you can see all of the changes as they would appear on the web. So you can scroll around, see what you've done to the site. You can see if you mouse over, the text is going to change to pink, so that looks really good. And so now, I think we're done. There are other options that you can add to the site, however, if you'd like. The one thing I'm going to show you is social. They also have store options, which for this store would be really nice. But if you aren't making a store website, then you might not need it. So if you want something where you can interact with Facebook users or Twitter or something like that, there are those options. Oops, I grabbed the wrong thing. We want to select this box. You're just going to stick it wherever you want on the screen. Right there looks good to me. And now you have the option of attaching or connecting to Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. So there you have it. You've created your own site on Wix.com. I hope this was helpful, and I hope that you have as much fun as I do playing around with it. Thank you.